Hello, this is a Total Control demo for the iPhone and the iPod Touch. Total Control is an application that lets you remotely administer your dedicated game servers as long as they support the Source protocol or the Quake 3 Archon protocol. You can do a search on Google for which games that is. There's a whole list of them. The ones that I list on the website that I support are just the ones that I happen to test. I haven't had time to test everything. But Call of Duty 4 and 5, Team Fortress 2, Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, Day of Defeat, Source, Counter-Strike Source, and Zombie Attack. I've tested on those and I know those work. I just want to give you a real quick rundown of how it works and all the features. Just thought it'd be easier to do a video than putting text on a web page. So basically the home screen, you got a couple of things you can do here. I'll go over real quick just some of the minor stuff. There's the news, which basically just gives me a way to keep everyone up to date. You don't have to go to the website to see anything new going on with Total Control. There's a message here on the bottom that actually is dynamic, so it looks that up on the website every time it starts in case there's something I need to let everyone know. Like if there's a new update in the App Store, that way you don't have to wait for the App Store to tell you that there's a new update. The Updates button, when you click on this, all this is going to do is go out to the website on the Total Control website and look for a list of game variables so that you don't have to go through and type all the game variables in yourself. This is just a good starting place so that basically it saves you a lot of work. And it goes by pretty quick because I'm using the emulator, but what it does is it goes out to the site. I just cleared all the variables, but it'll go out to the site and see which ones don't match the ones that are on your local phone or on the iPod Touch. It gives you the option to download those. I don't know if you noticed, but I can also add a game type in here. If there's a new game type that I find out works with Total Control that I didn't have listed before, I can do it through this update also, and you don't have to worry about getting a new update from the App Store just to get a game type listed. So let me go back to the main screen. The Manage Variables. This is basically where all the variables for all the games that Total Control supports can go. You can add your own. It lets you type in the name of the variable. Game type supported, you can just check off all the ones that it supports. And then if it's an on-off switch, so it's just yes, no, number, or text. So this is just a way to manage all those. And this is what gets pulled down from that Updates button on the home screen, so you don't have to type all these in. This is a good starting point for the variables. Okay, so select server. This is where you set up the servers that you want to connect to, your dedicated servers. I've got mine set up, but basically to set up a new one, you would just come in here, pick the game type, give it a nickname. This is just whatever you want it to show on the device. IP address, support, and then your Archon password. Go ahead and connect to this one. Okay, so basically, first screen that shows up is just your basic server info. This stuff shows up on every game type that you connect to. And you can go in to any one of these and change the value, and it actually updates the value on the server. So if you want to change your host name, max players, you can choose a different map. This will actually give you a list of all the maps based on the map rotation that's set up on the server. So if I click on this, it's going to ask me, am I sure I want to change it? I'll go ahead and hit yes. Just lets me know that some of these servers, while they're changing the maps, kind of lock up as far as responding to data requests. So if you do a refresh, now this one came back right away, but sometimes it may not come back right away. You might have to wait a few minutes. Variables, this is where your variables from the main screen show up. So anything that was selected for Call of Duty 4 shows up in this list, and I can come in here, get the value of any of these variables that are listed. If there's a variable that is not on this list that the game supports, you can add it right here if you want, the same screen that was on the home screen. And you can change them here too. So we've got the compass show enemies, for example. Just switch it over. Now that may be a cheat. See if we can find one that's not a cheat. Here's one, allow anonymous. Well, there's cheats right there. So here's allow anonymous. So that one lets me turn it on. Host name. So it's the same. Any of the variables you can go in and change. So just click on it, type in a new value, hit done, and it'll save it for you. You can hit refresh, which basically just resets them all so that you can refresh. The players, got my test guy in there logged into my local server. When you click on them, you've got the option to kick, ban. If you kick them, you've got an option to, in Call of Duty 4, you really don't have too many options. You just kick them. You have to kick them out. Ban, you have a couple of options. It's temporary or permanent. Gives you some basic information, their location, unique ID. Not sure how useful some of that information is, but it comes in through the game server, so I thought I'd put it in there. And then in console, this is where you pretty much can do whatever you could do as if you were sitting at the console. So you can come in here and type in a command, server info, brings back my server info, pretty much anything. As long as, if you could do it from the console at the PC, you can do it here. Map rotation may not be one. Mem info is another one. So we can disconnect. And that's pretty much it. High level overview. If there's some things in here that make sense to change, or specific game types you want to see supported, I have a list of game types that people have requested already, and I have to look into seeing if they support any of the Archon protocols that I'm working with. If so, I'll be happy to put them in. But some of these things too, like the variables, if you see some variables that just make more sense to include for everyone, just send me an email and I'll get that on the list so that when you go to the updates, it's included automatically. And that's it. If you have any questions, you can go to the website. It's innovaso.com/totalcontrol. There's an email address on there, just totalcontrol@innovaso.com, that you can send support questions or feedback. General feedback's fine, or suggestions for making it better. If any questions, just let me know.